Hi! On Tuesday, February 2nd, Asobo will release World Update 3 for the sim that will encompass major updates to the UK region. I thought I'd remind the community about best practices in preparation for the update to mitigate any issues you might encounter. For those unaware, the UK encompasses the countries of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So we can expect this update to encompass elements of all 4 of these countries. A few hours after the update's released, I'll post a video that compares a number of regions in each of these countries with the updated versions, so make sure to check back for that. Typically, Asobo releases these updates around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, although they've deviated from that in the past and released them slightly earlier in the day. The following are my recommendations for the best practices preparing for the update to ensure the smoothest possible transition. The first element that I do perform prior to running the sim at any time, not just when expecting an update. I do this because Asobo's been known to spring updates on us without pre-announcing it. I check the official forum's news and announcements section to see if any updates have been released. In the event that they have, I'll typically perform the rest of the tasks outlined in this video prior to installing the new update. There's a link to this forum section in the description. Prior to doing the update, I recommend that you delete or move your cache files. The reason for this is that there's a likelihood that the cache is no longer valid for the world, especially in the areas affected by this new update. You can delete the cache by doing this. Go to Options, General, Data, scroll to the bottom, click Delete Rolling Cache File like this, and you'll get a confirmation box. An alternative to deleting the cache is to move it to another folder so you can restore it after the update and see if it still works. Make sure the sim is not running when you perform this operation. If you opt for this, I recommend creating a temp folder on the same drive that your cache files are stored on. If you're not sure where to find the files, the sim tells you where it stores the files in the Options, General, Data section down at the bottom here. Additionally, you can see where the manual cache is by clicking on this button here, and the manual cache screen will show you where the manual cache file is stored. Having the temp folder on the same drive as the cache files means you can move the files instead of copying them, which will happen very quickly. If the temp folder is on another drive, you can still copy the files to that location and delete them from their original location, but this is more time-consuming. If you're confident that the cache is not impacted by the update after you've applied it, with the sim not running, feel free to restore the cache files that you removed and put them back to their original location. Then when you next run the sim, it will find and use them. If you experience issues, I recommend deleting them and recreating them in the updated version of the sim. The next item you'll want to do is ensure that your community folder is empty. The location of this folder varies by system, but a simple method for finding it is by using the free Livery Megapack Manager. In my top 7 free add-ons video, I discuss how to use this program and where to get it. That video is linked in the description. As you can see by the settings page in the manager, it'll tell you where this folder is located on your system. Just click on the link below the path to get an Explorer window at the community folder location like this. Again, make sure the sim is not running when you do this. You can either remove all of its contents, or I recommend just renaming the folder so the sim doesn't recognize it. The sim will create a new empty community folder if it doesn't find an existing one. After testing the sim with the new update applied, you can delete the new empty community folder and rename the old one back and retest to see if the sim still works. Again, any changes to the community folder should be done without the sim running. If it fails, you'll need to check each add-on in the community folder separately for compatibility with the new update. The final element that you might consider before performing the update is to back up your flight plans. If you're not sure where they're located on your system, go into the world map in the sim, click Load, and then Load again. When you get the Explorer window like this, you can copy the path from the window by clicking at the very end of the address bar at the top like this. The path is selected for you, so just press Ctrl-C to copy it. Now you can go to a Windows Explorer window and select the address bar at the top like this and paste the path into it with Ctrl-V and press Enter. Click on the Type column to sort by file type. That way all of your plans are grouped together. Now select all of your plan files, followed by Ctrl-C to copy them. Go to your backup folder in Explorer and press Ctrl-V to paste the flight plans. You can do this while the sim is running. It's not likely this update will impact these, but in previous updates I've had the installer delete my flight plans, so better safe than sorry. Once all of these tasks have been carried out, I recommend performing the update by running either the Steam client or the Windows Store client instead of running up MSFS and having it initiate the update. In the past, when I've had the sim initiate updates, I've experienced conflicts between the sim and the Store client software installers. So by performing the update from the Store client software, you won't have the sim running at the same time and causing any potential conflicts. As a final note here, the sim is broken up into two logical parts, the application and its support libraries and the scenery and data elements. The scenery and data elements being the larger part of these two pieces. When you perform the installation, you'll get a screen that prompts for a path for the data portion of the sim. Originally, I had both the application and data on a drive other than my boot drive, and this caused numerous issues whenever an update was applied. The sim really prefers for the application portion of the sim to be on your boot drive. Today, I have the application on my boot drive and the data portion on the separate drive, and these updates run much smoother. Obviously, changing this would require a full reinstall of the main application. If you do an uninstall of the sim from the control panel, it will leave the data portion in place, but just remove the application portion. At that point, you can reinstall MSFS onto your boot drive, and when the installation asks where to install the data portion, just point it at your original non-boot location and it will see it and not perform a full reinstall. Obviously, there's risk associated with doing an uninstall and reinstall of the sim since everybody's system is different. Your mileage may vary, and should you run into install issues, you'll need to engage the support forums or open a ticket at the Zendesk. I hope this video helps someone out there. If you liked it, please hit the like as that really helps. And until the next video, take care.